Hello everyone, welcome to CNA, the daily newspaper analysis. So today is 10th October. Let's see what we have to discuss for today. This is me and my relevant working experience. If you want to join our WhatsApp as well as our Telegram group, you can join in via the links given in the description section below. Also, we are on with the IGP program. So the offline and the online guidance program will be starting soon. So do register here by scanning this code, or you can call us by our number for registration. This is the big billion offer that is basically for Durga Puja. Aru etu gote bosor to debare ahe, and we are launching a huge discount on all our offline and online courses. So if you want to know about some of the respective details about this course, you can call us via our number. This is the content of today. Ki ase? National Framework for Climate Service. Russia could resume nuclear testing. Airtel Vodafone Idea asked Supreme Court to hear their curative petitions. Periodic labor force survey reports and some of the prelims facts. Let's start with the first analysis of today. Ki kaise? National Framework for Climate Service. Why India is launching this? So see, recently India is embarking on a groundbreaking initiative led by Indian Meteorological Department known as the National Framework for Climate Services. So today, if I have to refer about the IMD, that is the Indian Meteorological Department. So this is a government agency that deals with everything related to meteorology and others associated fields of study. So today moi kobole jao what is meteorology? We all know that this is a branch of science which deals with atmosphere and its various phenomena along with weather and weather forecasting, which can be defined as meteorology. So other subjects which are related to meteorology are seismology, geography, zoology. Like subjects amar meteorology logot relation ase. Okay, tomaloke mok kobo lage je if I say about IMD. Okay, so IMD form ketia hoisile. Okay, etu tomaloke mok kobo lage IMD form ketia hoisile aru IMD headquarter kor ase in India. Okay, aru eta kotha kobo para tomaloke je if I see about the IMD kuntu ministry under pore, which ministry, hetu tomaloke mok comment section at kobo lage. So eta news to kihor kane ase? News to ase je since India is embarking upon the National Framework for Climate Services, which will be a comprehensive program that will aim to provide climate services and information to various sectors, including agriculture, energy, disaster management, health, and water resources. And what is the basic central idea associated with this? It is to make an seamless platform for users for climate information and services. So as you moi kobole jao what is NFCS? So obviously the NFCS is India's response to Global Framework for Climate Services. Okay, and the NFCS will be tailored to India's specific weather patterns and also stakeholder requirements, with the IMD serving as the nodal agency. So আজি এই যেটো information হয় এটো ইমান significant কিহৰ কাৰণে হয়? Why it is very much significant? Because we can see that through this respective NFCS, we will address the gaps which can act as a coordination between various agencies that rely on climate services, including hydrology, power, services. So এইবিলাকৰ মাজত কি হ'ব? এটা coordination build up হ'ব. আৰু আমাৰ কি হ'ব? কিছুমান sectors আছে আমাৰ very vulnerable sections like the agriculture, energy, health, okay, then disaster risk reduction or যেটো sector হয়, transportation or যেটো sector হয়, এই sectors বিলাকৰ easy হ'ব to access the amount of effect that a disaster may do. তাৰ ওপৰত through this NFCS, it will strengthen India's observational network on land and sea, improving the data inflow. Our tar report kisuman ami climate information pao, and even we will see that it may go for various climate resilience, which may adapt to some of the new climatic conditions that can help mitigate the impacts on various sectors, including water supplies, health risks, farm productivity, and also infrastructural development. Okay, so hetu karone aji jihetu amar global framework for climate services, which is an international initiative, to bring together every government and organizations at global level, and the primary objective of it being to enhance the production and utilization of climate information. তো এইবিলাকৰ কাৰণেও আমাৰ এই NFCS-টোৱে এটা good role play কৰিব in the country or within the geographical boundaries of the country. So আজি যদি মই ক'বলৈ যাওঁ about the GFCS, that is the Global Framework for Climate Services, so it was officially established following the announcement made during the third World Climate Conference, which was held in Geneva in 2009. So আজি আমি impacts of climate change বহুত দেখিছো. It may be the landscape change, rise in the level of sea, okay, ocean acidification, ecosystem imbalances, adverse human health. তো এইবিলাক আমি কিছুমান impacts দেখিছো, আৰু সেই impacts বিলাককে control কৰিবলৈ we are trying our level best so that we can make our society, our country very much disaster free in the near future. Okay, so সেইখিনিকে ইয়াতে steps ৰ কথা কৈছে যে how we can make this very much of compatible in our country and how we can make this useful in our country in the coming times. Okay, so এটা question টাও দি থৈ দিছো তোমালোকে চাই লবা. Next, Russia could resume nuclear testing. So এটো mainly কিহৰ কাৰণে হৈছে? Russia's decision to consider withdrawing from the CTBT. ইয়াত main issue কি হয় CTBT? আমি জানিব লাগে as a news that Russia is evading from CTBT. But ইয়াতে এই গোটেই নিউজটোৰ main context কি হয় CTBT. That is Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty. So এটো কি কৰে? It prohibits any nuclear weapon test, explosion or any other nuclear explosion anywhere in the world. The treaty was opened for signature in September 1996 and hence been signed by 187 nations and ratified by 178. So the treaty cannot formally enter into force until it is ratified by 44 specific nations, 8 of which yet to do so. So আজি India, China, Pakistan, North Korea, Israel, Iran, Egypt and United States are the 8 specific countries which are not yet finalized about the decision to sign the CTBT. So therefore today even we can see that since Russia was one of the member of the CTBT, so আজি ৰাছিয়াই ভাবিছে যে আমি ইয়াৰ পৰা ওলাই যাম আৰু ওলাই আমি এতিয়া নিউক্লিয়াৰ টেষ্ট কিছুমান কৰিম. Okay, and it might result in Russia possibly revoking the global nuclear test ban treaty and conduct some nuclear test, which is an worrisome of the Western countries. Okay, so it has been recently been told by the Speaker of the Russian Parliament. Okay, and even a similar statement was made earlier by the Russian President Vladimir Putin in his respective speech. Okay, so আজি ইয়াতে justification আছে Russia behind this respective move. The United States have never ratified the treaty, signed but not have ratified, while Russia ratified it in 2000. And Moscow claims that Western's military support for Ukraine means the US and its allies are engaged into conflict directly. So there is a widespread concern today that Russia could move to resume nuclear tests to try to discourage the West from continuing to offer military support to Ukraine. আৰু তাৰ এটা impact আমি globally দেখা পাম in the global politics. So therefore you should know basically about the CTBT, the element associated with the CTBTs. So আজি যদি মই Comprehensive Test Ban Treaty কথা কওঁ, so when this things came into force which establishes a verification regime to monitor the adherence to the treaty, and therefore this verification system is built around a network of around seismic, infrasound, hydroacoustic monitoring stations. Okay, and therefore it employs a staff of around roughly 260 from the CTBT member states. So they monitor কৰি থাকে যে কোন কান্ট্ৰিয়ে এই বস্তুটো সাইন কৰে, and they also persuade people or countries to sign this treaty, not only ratifying. Okay, so এই বস্তুখিনি কাৰণে আজি এটো যেটো নিউজত আছে, so CTBT becomes important. এটা বস্তু মনত ৰাখিবা, India is not a member of the CTBT. Okay, chalo. Next is Airtel Vodafone Idea asked Supreme Court to hear their curative petitions. Okay, so eto kihor karone hoy? Because here the top court's earlier order which rejected their limited review petitions for rectification of arithmetical errors in calculations of their adjusted gross revenue dues, which is made by the Department of Telecommunication. Okay, so আজি যদি মই এখিনি কথা কওঁ, ইয়াতে mainly আমাৰ এটা বস্তুৱে important হয়, that is known as curative petitions. So what is curative petitions? So it is the last resort to the highest court that can be petitioned for redressal of grievances in court, and its ruling is final. এটোৰ পিছত কিন্তু আকৌ একো কৰিব নোৱাৰে in that particular case. So it's a way to ask the court to review and revise their own decision, and it is filed after a review petition is dismissed or used. It is the final and last option for the people to acquire justice as mentioned and promised by the Constitution of India. And what is the main objective of it? It means to ensure that there is no miscarriage of justice and to prevent abuse of process. So at some point of time maybe কিবা এটা ভাৰ্ডিক্টত কিছুমান বস্তু মিছ হৈ যাব পাৰে আৰু তাৰ কাৰণে হে ৰিভিউ কৰিবলে এই petitionখন curative petitionখন আনা গৈছে so as to make that justice could be served to each and everyone at the highest level and also at the last level. So eto to prevent the abuse of process of the judiciary system we have made this curative petition. So tekhetokলৰ যেহেতু আমি দেখিছো যে কিছুমান কেছ লৈ লাগি আছিল Vodafone Idea Airtel okay আৰু তাতে এটা সুপ্ৰিম কোৰ্টে petition not case এটা tekhetokলে verdict দিছে so তাকে আকু ৰিভিউ কৰিবলৈ এটো নতুনকে curative petition টা দিয়া গৈছে. Okay, so as I evolution of Katha so the concept of curative petition originated from the case of Rupa Ashok Hura versus Ashok Hura and another case where the following question arose before the court of law that whether an aggrieved person is entitled to any relief against the final judgments or order of the Supreme Court after the dismissal of a review petition. Okay, so the court used the Latin maxim actus curi memim gravabit, which means that an act of court shall prejudice no one. Okay, so this led to the creation of the concept of curative petition by the Supreme Court to prevent the miscarriage of justice and to prevent the abuse of the process. So as to make the abuse more and more transparent as well as cleaner in the coming times, a curative petition to amar dia goisile. So constitutional backing or jodi moi kotha kobole jao, Article 137 broadly supports the idea of curative petition and it states that Supreme Court has the power to review its own judgment pronounced by it matter concerns the laws and rules made by under Article 145. Okay, so eto bostu monor rakhiba 137 and 145. Okay, so who hears curative petition? So eto kune koribo? It's by a bench of 3 senior most judges and the judges who pass the concerned judgments if available. So eto eta important factor hoy in this particular case. So question di thwa ase sailo bai eto. Next, periodic labor survey report. So eto recently ami dekhisu je the periodic labor force survey carried out by the National Sample Survey Office. Mukwa, what is NSSO? Okay, NSSO kam ki form ketia hoisile headquarter code ase gutei khidi mukwa. It has reported that the unemployment rate in the country has shown a decrease between April and June 2023 and similarly the labor force participation rate of persons aged 15 years and above and the worker population ratio have also improved during the period. So it's a good sign for the labor force that we have today in our country. Okay, so about if I say about the periodic labor force survey, so eto considering the importance of the availability of the labor force data, more frequent time intervals of para jay. First annual report to July 27 to June 2018 kora goisile, which was brought out by NOSO on the basis of PLFAs and released in 2019. Our main objective to ki hoy key employment or unemployment indicators in the short time interval of 3 months for the urban areas or currently weekly status is equal to 7 days preceding date of survey. Okay, so aji key employment indicators ki hoy labor force participation, worker population ratio, unemployment rate, activity status, user status. So ebilak amar key employment indicators hoi jay. So how is unemployment rate measured? So it is measured as a ratio of the unemployment to the labor force. So hetu eta dangor measure hoy. So aji jodi moi kobole jao in 2019 the employment to population ratio in 2019 was 60.8 in the US while the unemployment rate was 3.7%. In 2022 this was around 3.6% which is basically fallen. Okay, so eto bahut dangor factor eta jot ami ei bostu to ami dekha pao in association with the terms of unemployment. Okay, so yada key highlights of the project kotha ko para age 15 years and above in currently weekly status range from 46.2 to 47.8%. Okay, tarpor ami 41.8 or 44.1 ole dekhisu in the 15 years and above. Okay, so ei bostu bilak amar kane olop important hoi jay when we talked about something in association with the labor force. Okay, so data bilak bhalke sai loba tumaloke tita tumaloke gom pai jaba. Okay, next yata ki ahile exercise Chakra. So this is 2023 edition of the annual joint HADR exercise Chakra being hosted by the Indian Navy at Goa from 9 to 11 October. Aru etu ki hoy annual joint humanitarian assistance and disaster relief exercise. Okay, aru etut tinta forces or participation ase all 3 services, paramilitary forces as well as several disaster response organization, even NDRF perform kore. So etu kane etu bahut important hoy aru yate sawa tumaloke যে how this is so relevant because ইয়াতে কিমান গিখন countries বা কিমান গিখন আমি 8 countries ৰ কথা কৈছো okay in the Indian Ocean region okay তোমালোকে মোক ক'ব লাগে এই 8 countries গিখনৰ নাম কি okay যোনবিলাক তোমালোকে even maps এই circle টোত map page ত দেখিছা so you have to name about the 8 countries in the comment section okay so এটা বহুত important হয় exercise Chakra okay mainly কিহৰ কাৰণে annual joint humanitarian assistance and disaster relief exercise accredited social health service activist কি হয় is planning to give incentives to ASHA health activists for mobilizing eligible individuals for sickle cell disease screening and distribution of sickle cell cards okay আৰু sickle cell anemia বা sickle cell disease to এটা কি হয় it's basically এটা আমাৰ কি হয় blood disorder হয় sickle cell anemia বুলি কওঁ আমি যেটো okay it's a blood disorder and it causes the red blood cells to become mishappen and break down okay আৰু ইয়াৰ কাৰণে বহুতখিনি বেছি disorders type of disorders আহে আৰু এই disorders বিলাকে it literally makes the person's immune system very weaker okay so তাৰ কাৰণে আজি যদি কোনোবা আশা worker আশা activist mobilize কৰিব পাৰে sickle cell disease screening and distribution sickle cell cards so Asha is a trained female community health activist so তেখেতে যদি এই বস্তুটো আজি incentives to লব পাৰে okay এই বস্তুটো কৰি পেলাই incentives to লব পাৰে or এই বস্তুটো তেখেতে ভাল কৰাই পেলাই বা প্ৰত্যেক জন মানুহক এটো বস্তু লৈ aware কৰিব পাৰে তেখেতসকলক গৱৰ্ণমেণ্টৰ ফালৰ পৰা incentives দিয়া যাব so হেখিনি কথাকে ইয়াত কোৱা গল মেইনলি আমাৰ ইয়াতে মেইন মতলবটো কি আছে sickle cell anemia তো তোমালোকে মোক অলপ sickle cell anemia বিষয়ে লিখি দিয়া what is sickle cell anemia এখিনি বস্তু কাৰণে লিখি দিয়া okay next world health mental day so world mental health day কেতিয়া আজি October 10th global initiative that brings organization and individuals together to commemorate the importance of mental well-being okay আৰু এবাৰৰ যেটো থিম হয় হেতু কি আছিল mental health is a universal human right so very important dates বিলাক এনেকুৱা important occasions বিলাক মনত ৰাখিব লাগে okay so আজি এটো থিম হয় so মোক ক'ব লাগে যে অসমত মেন্টাল হস্পিটেল ফেমাস মেন্টাল হস্পিটেল কোড আছে কেতিয়া এস্টাবলিশ হৈছিল আৰু কাৰ নামত হে মেন্টাল হস্পিটেলখন আছে okay next উদানগুৰি পানান গাৰুপতি sorry for the misspelling so recently etu eta palm jaggery or gur from Tamil Nadu has received the GI tag okay আৰু তাৰ কাৰণে এটো যেটো নিউজত আছে that becomes very relevant okay so আমি এটো gur বুলিও কওঁ আমি এটো মিঠৈ বুলিও কওঁ okay so এটো আমাৰ কাৰণে ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট হৈ যায় so এটো এটা GI tag পাইছে okay so মোক তোমালোকে ক'ব লাগে about the GI tags from Assam আৰু GI tag মানে হয় কি আৰু GI tag or headquarter ক'ত আছে ইন্ডিয়া হেতু তোমালোকে মোক ক'ব লাগে in the comment section so this is our academic team our CNA team thank you all for today we'll